Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, Sonoma Public Beta 1 is out, so obviously that means that we're going to make a new template. So what I'm going to do is show you the two ways to install it, actually how to restore the template, where to download it from, and then just walk you through some changes by us in the Sonoma Beta 1 template. So, as you can see, I'm on the download station here, and we've got two options. So we've got a pre-installed version and a pre-configured one. Now you want to go with the pre-installed version if you're a beginner, and even if you're an advanced user, the pre-installed version is pretty easy to set up. Also, the pre-configured one is only to be used if the pre-installed version doesn't work. So for example, if it just starts boot looping, you're better to just do the pre-configured template. So you can see on the download station, if we scroll down and go to the bottom, we can see 2104 is pre-installed and 2107 is pre-configured. So you can see we've stated here only use 2104, the pre-configured one, if 2104 doesn't work. So again, don't extract anything, just leave it as it is. So what I'm going to do now is first download the Sonoma Public Beta pre-installed template. So I can just click the three dots at the side and click on download. And then you can see it's downloading. So about 7 minutes for me. Obviously depending on your internet speed, depends on how long it's going to take. Once that's downloaded, I'll get back to you and we'll start to actually move the file over and show you how to do that. So you can see now I've got it downloaded. You can see it's a .vma.zst file. You don't need to decompress it, that's the file that you want. I've got WinRAR installed, but it should look the same for you, vma.zst. If you can't see the .zst part, make sure to turn on file name extensions in Windows Explorer if you're using Windows. But now we'll actually get onto transferring it over and then restoring it. So let's do that. So you need something called WinSCP. Again, the link is in the description to download it. You just run it basically like a normal installer, and then when you open it up you should get a screen like this with a login prompt, which I'll show you here. So the login prompt, basically you put the host name as the IP address of your Proxmox host, so I'm going to do that. The username root, and then the password of your Proxmox login. Once you've done that, you can press enter or just click login, and then you'll see on the screen on the right is the Proxmox actual file structure, and on the left is my PC one. So if I do the two dots, which is to go back to a directory, if I double click on that, you can see we're in the root folder now. So if we scroll down, we go to var, lib, scroll down again, vz, dump, and you can see I've already got one in here, but basically yours will be blank unless you've obviously got a Synology template like me. Then you just want to grab it from your downloads folder, so I'm just going to do that. If I go to downloads, Sonoma Public Beta 1, you see the file here. If I drag it, simple like that, it should start to copy over. So again, it can take quite a while, about 2 minutes for me. You won't get full gigabit speeds to this for some reason, but I'm just going to wait for it and then we'll get on to actually restoring the template. Also, do note, if you're using the pre-configured template, it's literally the same, so you just copy that over through WinSCP or any of the HSV templates, like the Synology one, the Big Sur one, the Ventura one, the Monterey one, the High Sierra one, the Mojave one. Any template, you just copy it over the same way here. Also, if you have a network attached storage device, which obviously I do, and so does Tor, you can copy it over through there if you've got it attached to SMB. If you want a video on SMB and how to set Proxmox to use SMB share, please do give this video a like and comment that you want it, you know you want to see it. But yeah, basically, once this is done, we can head back over to the Proxmox web UI, and then we can configure the basically just click restore. It's pretty easy, so it's not long now. So it's finished copying, and you can see it's there on the right as well as the left now. So all we need to do is go over to the Proxmox web interface, which I'm going to do now, and then basically we're ready to restore it. So here's the Proxmox web interface. If I go down to local, yours might be called local LVM or local, and then go to backups. You'll see it here, 2104. What I like to do is click edit notes and then name it Sonoma beta 1 public, something like that, so then you know what it's for. Once you've done that, you can, this is the one-click template type thing here. So if I click restore, choose a storage, so I'm going to put it on my M.2 for this, give it a name and stuff, RAM, and then this is the one-click template. One click, there we go, it's restoring. So again, depending on the disk speed and stuff, obviously depends on how long it restores, and also the decompression parts of the CPU also depends on how long it's going to take. But once it's done, we basically have a full Sonoma working template. So once this is done, I'll boot up the template, show you that it works, and then we'll go on to actually talking through the features that have changed in our templates and not just the Apple ones. So it's done now. So if I just exit out of that, go over here, click on console. Just to note, if you have an AMD CPU, these are designed for Intel. So you just copy these arguments and paste them into the config file. Again, it says in our documentation up here. Same with the NVT SC. It might break booting, but it does work for me. I'm unsure whether it works for you. Give you some guidance, but obviously I'm going to just show you that today. So if I go to console, click start now. You don't want to pass through a GPU at first until you've set up the VM. You can do, and I'm sure that that'll work for you. It does for me, but it all depends on if it's going to work your GPU natively or whether you need to do some patching. But you can see it's loading now. If I just go in full screen so you can all see it, then we'll actually get on to setting up Sonoma. I've got a new microphone, by the way. I hope you guys like it. So yeah, that might be why the sound quality sounds a bit different as well. So all I want to do is set up Sonoma. I'll walk you through the steps because there's some steps that you need to skip and stuff, but once we've done that, we should be on the Sonoma desktop. I'll show you how to transfer the basic EFI folder, and then I'll show you the pre-configured template, as that's a bit different. So select your country. So I'm in United Kingdom, so I'll scroll down to that, continue, then I'm fine with that. Don't have any accessibility. Click continue. I'm not going to migrate. Skip setting up Apple ID for now, as we don't have an SM BIOS. Click skip. Read through the terms. I've read them, so I'm going to agree to them. And then give your user a name and a password. You can change the profile picture, I just don't care. And click create account. This bit can take quite a while, creating the account, so I won't keep you waiting. So I'm not going to enable location services. It's just basic configuration steps. Sort your time zone, and then we'll go from there. It's basically just a normal setup. So I'm gonna skip setting up screen time for now. Just leave that a default. I don't really care at the moment. That's about it really. Basically, I don't run the Sonoma public beta on my main Hackintosh for now, just because I like a stable machine. Again, with running betas, it's not that stable, so you have to be careful. That's why backups and snapshots are good with the new way. I still currently run Monterey on the new way, because that's sort of my daily driver. No issues with it at all. Ventura is a bit, I don't know, I don't really like it that much, especially the bloody settings menu, it's awful. Basically we're gonna now just select your keyboard layout, whatever, and then if you go to Finder, once this is gone away, if you go to Finder and then look at the side on the left hand side column, you can see HV Get Started under Locations. If we click on that, I've got a brand new readme file that took me about 8 hours to make, and then a Get Started folder. I'm just going to copy that Get Started folder to the desktop. So let's do that. Once it's copied, then I'll show you how to transfer the EFI for your system. Again, to work out what's right for your system, you literally just have to use some common sense. So basically once this is done, if we close out that window, double click into this one, we'll get two folders. So we'll get EFI and Tools. Basically if we double click into EFIs first, we've got 4 options. So we've got EFI AMD 5000 6000 series GPUs, native GPUs EFI, legacy NVIDIA EFI, and no GPU EFI. So I'll walk you through each one. So the 5000 6000 is obviously for the 5000 6000 AMD GPUs, like the 6900 XT, etc. The native ones are anything other than that, so like the RX 580, the RX 570, 480, 470, whatever. The NVIDIA EFIs is 600 and 700 series NVIDIAs that are supported. And then the no GPU one is obviously if you don't want to pass through a GPU, that's just like a generic EFI for you. Basically, I'm running the RX 570, so I'm going to double click into the native GPUs one, and it'll extract. And then all I want to do is copy that to the desktop as well. Again, if you're unsure, again, what your GPU, if it's supported, visit the guide, the GPU compatibility checker, which again I'll leave in the description in my blog. So if we double click into Tools now, right click on Open Code Configurator, click Open. You can use also auxiliary tools, but I really like Open Code Configurator for some reason. Just click Open, that's just because Apple doesn't like that software, of course. Then once it's open, all I do, go to Tools, Mount EFI, and then just give it a moment, obviously, and then mount the one that's Apple Link Verteo Block Media. Click Mount Partition, it'll ask for your password, just enter that in. Once it's entered in, just give it a moment, and then click on Open Partition. It'll open another partition that's called EFI, and there's nothing inside it, it's blank. With the other window on Tools, go to Desktop, double click into that folder, drag that EFI folder into the EFI partition. That's what it should look like after. You should have the EFI partition with a folder called EFI inside. Once you have, go back to Open Code Configurator, unmount the partition. You don't have to do this, but it's best practice for me. Unmount the partition, and then we'll get onto actually setting up GPU pass-through, because I'll just show you that quickly. So if I click shut down now, not restart, shut down, let it shut down, and then we just need to remove the IDE drives and the SATA drive to create a snapshot. Pretty straightforward. And then I'll just show you the actual GPU pass-through, not how to enable IOMMU or anything. If you want a video like that, please let me know and I'll make one. But basically I just want to make it as easy as possible. So if we go to IDE 2 on hardware, click detach, yes. Same with SATA, detach, yes. You can remove the unused disks, I'm just leaving them there. We go to snapshots. If it says this, it's probably because of that, so let's just remove them. But basically, all I want to do is, if it doesn't let us do a snapshot, we can do a backup. So if it says this, just go to backup, click backup now, and then just leave it at default, click backup. I'm not going to back up because obviously I don't need to. But once done, I'm going to pass through my GPU, PCI device, raw, and then pass it through. Set the display to none, and then I'll just throw a video on screen of it booting up. So I can't show you pass through at the moment, but just because my GPU is being used by my workstation that's recording this video and I forgot about it. So that's all you do, and then it just output to screen. Basically, now I'll just walk you through the pre-configured one. It's pretty similar. It doesn't require much additional setup. I've already got it copied over to my ISOs folder right here. So I'm just going to click restore and then restore it. Basically, the pre-configured one just requires you to put a command in the command line. Just one singular command, it doesn't take too long, and then you'll have to install macOS manually, as the pre-installed one has macOS installed by default. This one, it's just configured just the way so you can just install macOS yourself. It's also useful if you want to change your disk size, but we've got a guide on how to change it on the pre-installed one that's on the website on the Hackintosh page. Whilst that is actually restoring, I'll just show you. If you go on my website and then go to the Hackintosh page, it's literally everything Hackintosh. You can find it here, the advantage, disadvantages, some useful links, and then 2 ways to get started. So the GPU compatibility checker, again, you can check if your GPU is supported. And then this is the pass-through guide if you want to pass through your GPU. Some kernel upgrade guides for AMD, not a problem. macOS ISOs and stuff here. Again, these will be up there, the Sonoma ones, once I've got this video out. And then again, the increase disk size. So anything Hackintosh, it's all on there. So if you're wondering where everything is, that's where it is. It's hsv.org/Hackintosh. Hope you like that page. I do personally. You can see it's restored now. This is it. All I want to do is go to console, start now. It's just the exact same, and then you remove all the IDE drives and SATA once you've copied over the EFI. I'll just press enter on the UEFI shell, enter again. Now you'll get a box. Do fs0:/system /library /core services /boot.efi. So again, it's fs0:/system /library /core services /boot.efi. On UK keyboard, you have to do the Alt-GR key and then the hash key to get /. Now if we press enter, we get the Apple logo. If you're on an AMD system, you still need to switch out the ARGs, which are in the information tab on the summary page. So you can see it's loading up. Basically, we format our disk and install macOS. Pretty straightforward. So you go to disk utility, double click into it. The Apple Inc. Virtual Block Media, erase it, give it a name, erase. Once that's done, close that, double click on install macOS Sonoma Beta, click continue, and then it should get a spinning wheel of death. Don't worry about it, it happens on any system. Literally on an Epic system it happened to me once for a client, so don't worry about it, it's just because it's loading. Once that's done, then we can view the license agreements. Obviously I've read them, so I won't read them again, but I'm going to accept them once it's finished. Again, it takes about 30 seconds to actually respond. So if I click agree, which is what my my actual thing is, agree, select the macOS disk and then continue. That's pretty much it. When it reboots, because it will a couple of times, just keep pressing enter on the default value. Then from there, you can set up macOS and do the steps earlier in this video. Anyway, thanks everyone so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please do leave a like and consider subscribing, as we're actually really close to 4,000 subscribers now, which is great. So if you do need any help with this, please obviously visit the Discord server. It'd be my pleasure, or my Discord moderator's pleasure, to help you. But thanks ever so much for watching. Goodbye.